We are here with the legendary John Akers, whose name is synonymous, and the names Akers and technology are synonymous to the point that your company is Akers Technology.
Yes, it is.
John, give us a little overview on Akers Technology.
Well, we started it in 2007, a couple days after I saw the iPhone, and realized that the world was changing and casinos needed to change with it. So ever since then, we've been working on patents. We now have 153 issued, 100 or so more pending. We're building a base of technology that is enabling cashless. But what's really important is to understand that cashless for us is the first step. What we're really about is completely reinventing the player experience in much the same way that Google completely reinvented advertising.
When you say reinvent the experience, what do you mean? I mean, let's say me. Let's say I sit down and I play video poker, which I've been known to do occasionally.
Mm-hmm.
What would change between my experience today and the experience tomorrow?
Anything from nothing to a lot, depending on how satisfied you are with that experience. We have a constituency of customers, of players, that are very happy with their experience, and they continue to enjoy that. But we have a much larger number of people that come into the casino, sign up for the loyalty club, and never return. And they've been disappointed in some way. We have other players that play for a while and then quit because they're disappointed. We have other players that we allow to overspend, and then they have to quit, and then the community's mad at us. What we want to do is to adapt that experience to each player, to provide rewards, temptations, gratifications, and enticements to play longer, to come back more often, to bring their friends, and to stay within their affordable budget.
One of the things that has been a retardant, if that's the right word, to various kinds of technological advances in gaming has been regulatory concern over gambling abuse that's possible in a lot of things. Can you address that a little bit?
Sure, and that concern is well placed. We know that there are a number of people that are addicted, that spend more than they can afford. That harms their family, that harms their community. Frank, when you and I were growing up, there was a whole different perspective that each person was responsible for themselves. But we saw probably 30 years ago with the laws about over-serving in bars that has spread, and now we must take additional responsibility for our customers' welfare. The great news is that the electronic technology that's now available to us allows us to do a much better job of that. We can allow players with the Akers technology, for example, to define how much they want to spend before they ever arrive in the casino, and that we will keep them within that budget, not just by cutting them off, but by giving them enticements to quit and return at a later date.
You've mentioned cashless, and cashless is a key product that you have developed and you're introducing to the industry now. Tell us a little bit about your cashless product and how it may differ from others that are out there, and how's the rollout going? It seems like we're starting to get some momentum.
Yeah, cashless, like everything else, is a new technology. It takes regulatory approvals, and it takes some trial and error to get going. We had the great fortune of partnering up with Penn Entertainment to start with. They've been a fantastic partner to work with. We've worked through a lot of the frictions that were first identified, but we now, and the other thing that was different about our cashless implementation as opposed to anything else is that ours is entirely on the mobile phone. We do the entire transaction using the phone, never ask them to stop, put in the obsolete player card that we invented a long time ago, and punch in a PIN number and then do all the selections. It's just type in how much money you want to transfer, hold your phone next to the machine, the credits are there, and you're playing.
I've got to say, you're a faster learner than me. I'm still calling them Penn Gaming.
Well, hey, we've had a month, so.
One of the things that you had intended to do, maybe last year, I believe, perhaps late the year before, I don't recall which exactly, is to take your company public, and
yes,
and that process got slowed down as it has for many, especially technology companies in this past year, given overall market conditions. Can you update us a little bit on how that process is going?
Yeah, the market downturn hit everyone, and it allowed us, though, to to delay that IPO and just focus more on our technology. We still, for regulatory reasons and for incentive reasons for new employees, we very much want to be a public company, but we're probably looking at that occurring about this time next year if the market is ready.
And I believe you're going through a second round of fundraising now.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. So if I'm a prospective investor, what am I investing in? What's my return going to be? What is that investment going to look like 3 or 5 years out?
We think it's going to look really well.
Yeah.
We think that we can give you a very high return. On a smaller scale, we liken ourselves to Tesla, where we're introducing an idea that a lot of people are skeptical about. In fact, when we introduced our cashless alternative, a lot of the traditional companies went to Penn Entertainment and said, we don't think that's going to work. You really ought to be careful there. We proved that it works. And in fact, in my career, I always get kind of worried if people aren't a little bit jaundiced or a little bit doubtful about what I introduce because we're not going far enough. But we just see a tremendous opportunity ahead, and we think we're going to give investors an amazing return on their investment.
And you've been down this road before.
Yes, sir.
You might
A few
wanna-
times.
Yeah. So to a great extent, what you're investing in is, in addition to your existing products and technology, which are in a growth phase, you're investing in a lot of ways in John Akers.
You are, but I'm really happy to say that today you're really investing in John, in Noah Akers, who's taking on a huge role, and in a lot of the people, whether it be Mark Daly or Dan Y, or people that have been with us for decades, that are part of what we get all the credit for.
You have a booth this year at G2E.
Yes, sir.
What will visitors, what should they expect to see?
The future. We think that what they will see is a seamless cashless process and an introduction to the kinds of bonuses and temptations that we're going to be able to offer players in this next year. We'll talk about how we're completely reinventing the casino management system process. We're going to completely reinvent loyalty, much in the same way that Google completely reinvented advertising.
Okay, great. What else should folks know about Akers technology?
About us, I think that what I tell our people every day, at every meeting I go to, is that we have 4 precepts in anything that we build or anything that we hire to do, and that is reliability. It's got to work without doubt, and we've accomplished that with Penn. Simplicity. It's got to be easy to use. Capability. If there's not a new capability, nobody wants it. And profitability, because if it's not profitable, why are we doing it? Why would our investors get a return? So everything that we do is really based on those 4 simple principles. We always use the most modern technology available that is reliably deployable and stay within that sweet spot. We're not out here on this very, very far edge of imaginary things like we saw with skill-based gaming a few years ago, where maybe some of the promises that were being made weren't realistically deployable. We're staying within what will work in the casino, but what takes that player to a magical new place.
Okay, very good. John, very insightful. Thank you.
Appreciate it.